Sometimes it happens. A good team loses to a bad team, and that was the case last night.
Wait, so you're telling me that in 162 games, a worse team is going to beat a better team? That's impossible. Let's talk about it right now.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we are the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Locked On Rays. And be sure to find us on the social medias, X and Instagram, and email us anytime, lockedonrays@gmail.com. The Tampa Bay Rays lose to the Los Angeles Angels by a score of 8-3. Last night, it was a case of pitching going awry and opportunities offensively squandered in going awry.
Yeah, and sometimes, like we said in the open, cheekily, it's going to happen. You're going to lose to worse teams. Are the Angels any better because they won against the Rays? Should the Rays be losing games? Like, it's baseball. Like, you're not going to be perfect. It's frustrating and all that comes with it, but sometimes you don't have it and the guys didn't have it. But, I think the big thing with this game is Civale not getting the results on the field before anybody jumps with peripherals. I understand. The FIP is looking nice. Is he striking more people out? Yes. Is he walking less people? Yes, since coming to Tampa Bay. But the results on the field, like I said on X yesterday, have been underwhelming, if not disappointing. Why? Why underwhelming? Because he's only had one start where he's gone 6 innings. He's only gone one start where he's been scoreless. That's why. And I understand that he's not here to be the ace, but he's here to be top 3.
Yes.
And so, it's right now the results are not there for Civale. It's frustrating, but in the long run, I think this is going to work out. But it's just right now the results are not there on the field. Forget about the peripherals, or just put them to the side. But the results right now are not there right now.
And that's unfortunate because you need him, you need Glasnow, you need Eflin at the very least to be able to deliver down the stretch of the season and into the playoffs. I mean, we're getting pretty darn close to saying the division is a lost cause, but there is still something to play for when you get to the playoffs for sure. And correct me if I'm wrong, I did not watch every single pitch, every single minute of this game, but the breaking balls were just hanging and the Angels were capitalizing on it. Again, an Angels team without Trout, without Ohtani, with several rookies, with several players I've never heard of. Nobody in that lineup last night has an OPS above 800 or 800 or above. The closest thing to, I guess, a competent ball player seemingly is or an experienced, competent ball player is Brandon Drury, who I think sometimes gets the Isaac Paredes treatment of not getting enough love and attention for what he's able to do. But, the games are certainly played in person, not on paper. But on paper, this was a get right, get comfortable, get grooving game for the likes of Aaron Civale, or anybody for that matter, for a Taj Bradley, for a Zach Littell. This is a lineup. This is a team at home that you should be able to, okay, we can pencil you in for 5 2/3, 6 1/3, and 3 earned runs or fewer and a handful of strikeouts.
And just to put a couple of Civale fans to rest here, has he been getting BABIP'd? Yes, he has. But also,
let me add this too. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but there were cases. I'm glad you brought that up because Harold Ramirez in right field didn't help him out. Curtis Mead at third base didn't help him out. And that's a case of where we see and notice the importance of defensive play, where a guy is just getting opportunities in the big leagues and there's question marks about his defense, or a guy who is primarily almost exclusively a DH and you throw him out there in right field, you're not getting the reps and you don't have the skill set to begin with. It's going to be a rough evening, rough night, rough day for you, where you don't know how the ball comes off the bat for a particular pitcher. And you're going, for example, Harold Ramirez, you have a ball that you're supposed to be coming in on and you're going back on it and then coming back in, and not understanding the gyration and how the ball maneuvers off a particular pitch from Aaron Savali. It leads to problems. Although I will say, I know that BA pointed this out about Harold Ramirez going back before coming in. That is, I think, traditionally what you are taught is you want to first go back on a ball and then come in. But that was a play that I think several other right fielders that have played for the Rays this year would have been able to make that play.
And the interesting thing would be go back to every lineup that Cash has done when Savali is pitching. Has there been a Harold in right field? Basically, has he had the best defense behind him when he's pitching? That's something to look out for. Matt Germain says that the level of contact hasn't been ideal, but to be fair, Kevin Cash has put the worst possible defense behind him when he pitches. Example last night when the first 2 runs Angels put up, which never should have happened. So again, the results have not been there, but you also have to look at other factors. BABIP, the defense behind him. But when he gets hit, he's getting hit hard, and I'm not concerned. I still think he's the number 3. But at what point, there's only 10 games left, so this guy's only going to get 2 more outings, if that.
Right.
No matter what he does in those last 2 outings, is he still Kevin Weiss's 3rd, and is he still Kevin Cash's number 3?
I will answer that, and we will answer that. But first, Ulises, we have to tell the audience about something extremely important.
Gosh, how do you always know when we have to tell something very important? It's amazing. It's incredible. And you know what? You know what else is incredible? It's Game Time, because Game Time is the place for last-minute ticket deals. Here is a true story. I've gotten some credit from Game Time because you can do that as well by using a code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. We are going to the Saturday game at the Trop, and we can all hang out and talk ball on Saturday when we go to the Trop. But when I use Game Time and I got my tickets there, guess what? The prices were reduced to a high school game. It was amazing. So guess what? You can do that today because Game Time is the place where you want to get your tickets. You download the app, you create an account, it takes 30 seconds, and then you use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. You can get images of your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. So download Game Time today. Terms apply. Redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I think still as of today, Aaron Savali would be my number 3. I would just say that going forward, it would be helpful for Kevin Cash and company to ensure that, if possible, the best possible defense is on the field for him to help his cause. And I'll say this, I know we kind of hammered on Harold Ramirez a little bit, but it's a tough situation. Like we mentioned a week or 2 ago about, who would you rather have in the lineup, Vidal Brujan or Harold Ramirez, based on what they all bring to the table. In one sense, it's like, I don't want to see Harold Ramirez in the field. And in the other sense, if that's what it takes to get his bat in the lineup against lefties in particular, I think I saw a stat where he leads the American League in batting average against lefties.
He mashes.
That's a tough gambling act, or that's a tough question of being caught between a rock and a hard place. But yes, as of right now, I still go with Glasnow, Eflin, Savali, or if you want to get cutesy, Eflin, Glasnow, then Savali.
How about my act of leaving Eflin for Game 3 for the Trop and then putting
Oh no,
Glasnow.
I'm cool with that too. I was just kind of putting together the hierarchy there. I will be very curious to see how that all plays out, because I think Zach Eflin certainly does have that stopper quality of, hey, you win game 1 with Glasnow, you maybe lose game 2 with Savali, and then game 3 come back and take that lead in the series with Eflin, and then roll back around hopefully with Glasnow or some combination thereof.
You want to hope for the best, but I don't know why. Maybe negativity or something. I'm getting flashbacks of Savale's 2022 Game 5 ALDS start against the Yankees, where it was over by the first inning. He just got shellacked at Yankee Stadium. So hopefully it's nothing like that.
That's kind of how it was in this game against the Angels, where they take a 6-0 lead. In fact, I know we have mentioned our definition of clunker is losing to a team by 8 runs or more. Isn't that our definition?
Yes.
Our qualifications?
Yes.
I may go a step further, add an appendix to it, and say, if you lose to a last place team by 5 runs or more in the heat of a playoff chase, a division chase at home, where several of their superstars are not on the field, then we could almost qualify that or add that as a clunker as well.
This I don't disagree, but this also sounds like the stats that they put sometimes on broadcast, like Vidal Brujan is the first 24-year-old from the Dominican Republic who has batted only on Wednesdays through 7th and 9th in the order to get a hit and a stolen base in the same game. You're like, what?
It's like you're really stretching to make something out of something that's not really there in the first place.
This is not a stat. This is not a club you're creating.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to kind of emphasize that it was not a good game for the Rays or any Rays fan. And
I don't disagree. And I think a lot of people don't disagree. Yes.
Yeah. And we talked about Aaron Savali, but it takes 2 to tango, because the offense had their opportunities and they were wasted. I think 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position. That might be the worst I've seen this season from the Rays. 11 left on base. There were situations, or one situation where you had multiple runners on with no outs. And you don't do anything with it. And again, I think Reed Detmers is a solid pitcher. I would like to have him on the Rays just for depth purposes as a number 4, number 5, if you need to trade a prospect or two to acquire a guy like that. But man, you can't get anything going against the Angels unless your name is, Isaac Paredes chipping in, Manny Margot chipping in, and Yandy Diaz chipping in, which I'll say this, Manny Margot was the clubhouse leader in hits for that game with 3, and he had a 3-hit game over the weekend, I believe, against the Orioles. So maybe we're starting to see a little bit of a surge from a veteran player that is getting paid a lot of money by the Rays, $10 million per season, in fact. And what's good, I don't know about this game in particular, but over the weekend, he had a base hit on every pitch type, more or less. A fastball, a breaking ball, in an off speed. So that's good to see, and spraying the ball around the field.
Yeah, and you need Margot to get going, because you want that that dynamic duo of Siri and Margot in the playoffs to be as efficient as possible. I was looking at the lineup from yesterday. First of all, you're not going to see this lineup in the playoffs. At least you shouldn't.
Unless there's a lot of injuries and a lot has to go very wrong very fast for that lineup to be deployed.
Yes, 100%. But I will say this. My goodness, having Walls and Bethancourt back to back, it's like going to a hardware store when you're a kid. It's the worst. There's nothing to play with. You hate it.
Or going to a Home Goods as an adult with your fiance.
Yeah, that's.
Can anybody agree with me in the comments there?
Yeah,
going to a Home Goods, and I will even add, maybe not as tooth pulling, but a Marshalls, a TJ Maxx, just to look around.
Just
to
to
see
have a
what's out there.
gander. Let's just see. Let's
Yeah.
just see what's up. Maybe
Yeah.
they have something we can pick up. Yeah.
Maybe I'll like this cup holder on sale.
But you know what? It doesn't go. It doesn't go.
No.
I don't think we should.
Hey,
No.
it's we're getting into the fall days. Pumpkin
Yeah.
spice lattes, Ugg boots.
PSL everywhere. But you know what? It's
Yeah.
not a PSL. Walls and Bethencourt back to back.
No.
That is a rough experience to watch. So, but again, who are you going to deploy at shortstop in the playoffs? It's look, Taylor
The
Wall,
defense, man.
tremendous glove, but it's going to be back breaking to see Taylor Walls take at bats in the playoffs, and he's going to, unless you do something funky, which they're not going to do. But if you wanted to get funky, you put Isaac Paredes at short, you get Curtis Mead at third, and then you can do that. But they're not going to because the Rays believe in Walls' glove.
Yeah, I think you have to have just about the strongest possible lineup to include, or to be able to have the ability to include Taylor Walls in the lineup. And maybe that's a case of you got to take your punches with Harold Ramirez in the field. I mean, I'd prefer him at DH or whatever, but yeah, because I just don't know in the play. I kind of want to roll with Taylor Walls at short and try to give him as few at bats as possible. Just take pitches, lay down a bunt, lean into one, do whatever, be as scrappy as you are in the field and in your demeanor. Take that approach to the plate.
Can you be as scrappy as you can when you go to the plate 4 times and strike out 3 times?
It's difficult.
Again, he did get a walk. He's a tremendous runner. He is a tremendous glove. But my goodness, that 204 batting average with a 655 OPS, it makes you want to tear out your nose hairs by hand.
Start crowding the plate like Joey Wendell and Isaac Paredes. That's all I can say. We're an elbow guard. We have more to discuss, but first we have to tell you this. Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there is literally no better time to get in on the action. The app is incredibly easy to use, and there's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn, LOCKEDON, to kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, they are an official partner of the NFL. All right, Ulises. I know we will dive deeper into this with our buddy Evan Klosky on Friday's episode. Yes.
Yeah. Is one more thing about the game. Isaac Paredes at first base. He had a terrific catch in foul ground territory. He made it look easy. It was over his shoulder. He basically stuck out his glove like it was nothing. Even the players were like, dang, BA was impressed. Dwayne was like, I just wanted to put that out there that Isaac Paredes does not get enough love from his own fandom, not only at the plate. He's been getting more of that lately.
Yes.
But also with the glove. I mean, the guy is just solid. And I think people forget that it's really difficult to be solid at one position. He's solid at third, he's solid at second, and he is solid at first base. We've already seen him at shortstop, and we don't remember any errors, do we? Yes, 2.5 games. But just wanted to put it out there. He is a very solid glove, and that is not something to scoff at.
No, I agree. And that is a very difficult play, a near impossible play as well, especially if you're not familiar to taking those reps at that position as frequently as other positions. As I mentioned, we will be getting more into the nitty-gritty with Evan Klosky on the whole stadium update and stadium news. Of course, the team, the franchise, their development partner, and city and county officials and other dignitaries were at the Trop to make an announcement, have the formality of a press conference in a Q&A announcing this new crazy, not crazy, but big development of a $1.3 billion stadium and lots of residences, lots of offices, lots of retail, lots of hotels, lots of opportunity. Basically, they're creating a new downtown in St. Petersburg, more or less. But Ulises, I assume, I didn't ask you this yet, but I assume you kind of tuned in or listened or watched some of the press conference that was.
Yeah, I did. And I want to first say it's insane that this whole project, like not only the stadium, but the whole project, the what you're talking about, is going to be finished in 20 years. 2043. That's like the end. Like, this is insane. And like, I know you said crazy. It's not crazy. It's insane. Let's go a step further than crazy. I remember, when I got to the US in 03, New Tampa, when you go from New Tampa to Wesley Chapel, it was just like cows and it was one-way roads.
Yeah.
Now Wesley Chapel is like its own little thing. It has like a little downtown and there's stuff everywhere. There's a hospital.
It's now like the fastest growing community, not only in the state of Florida, but maybe in the country. Like, 10, 15 years ago, cow pastures, basically.
Cows. Yeah.
And now it is as developed to the gills as could be. A lot of cool stuff to do, but totally changing the game from what it used to be, what the land used to be. And you have enough money, and you have enough partnerships, and you have enough powerful people, you can get things like that built and completed in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, so that's been 20 years since 03 till 2023, and you're like, wow, you see the stark difference. Now, we're talking about a downtown, so it's going to be even more impressive from going to 2023 to 2043 and see how it all is. The renderings are incredible. I did think that the presentation, which I think might not fall into the press conference, and I understand that this is exactly what it is for, but it just seemed, first of all, a little bit beige and a lot of like, thank you so much. No, thank you. No, thank you.
It was a lot of, there was a lot of that.
There's so many ways I want to say it, but none that would be podcast approved.
Yeah. Very quid pro quo.
Yes. I think that's the best way we can say it. Very quid pro quo. Yes.
Yeah. No. So, I mean, what's crazy is, and I know we've complained or not, well, maybe we have complained, but we've brought issue with the fact that you're going to build a new structure in the same exact place where you've said that you can't draw people. But based on the sheer amount of all that is coming to that area and hopefully making it a Battery-esque in Atlanta destination, they might not have as much of a issue with attendance as we maybe think, between all the sheer amount of, like I said, hotels and multifamily residences that are coming into play. It could be something really, really, really special. And I just hope, little inside baseball, that St. Petersburg, the city of St. Petersburg, is prepared for the amount of growth that is coming to that relatively small section of town. So, and I'm sure they have, different mechanics in place, but you better make sure you have enough fire rescue service and public safety and police and utilities. Like, you're going to see a lot of people flocking to town and a lot of action and business and movement coming to town, and you better be prepared for it in some way, shape, or form.
I don't want to be Kevin Weiss and I don't want to be locked on parking here, but parking is going to be a nightmare. I mean,
why you just spend the night at the hotel?
And you know what? No, I'm not even saying like when everything is done. Like whilst construction is being like 2025, because they said shovels are going to go down this time next year 2024, right? So the 2025 season and 2026 and 2027 season, boy, parking is going to just be the worst.
I may not go to a game for the next 3 years, quite frankly. I may not go to a game in person until the new stadium opens.
Yeah.
Which, please, I'm begging. I know that you've got, it looks really cool.
Yes.
You've got, it's going to have 30,000 seats. It's going to be enclosed. There's the ability to open up windows when the weather allows, but I want comfortable seats and I want more leg room.
That's what they said. That's what they said. We got more. Stu Sternberg said that actually. So I'm hopeful, and he said that with BA and Dwayne. He said we're gonna have more comfortable seats, and I was like that. And they're all going to be facing home plate. Huh? What a novel idea.
Yes.
What a novel idea. We don't want to see center field and then twist their necks on the bullpen side, like on section 130, 132, 134. Yeah, I don't want to just crick my neck for the whole 9 innings. So fantastic. And they have more sections for people to stand up, which is terrific, because that's exactly what we'll be trying to do on Saturday.
Yes.
When we go to the game, we're going to hopefully meet up, I don't know, maybe 5th, 6th inning and have some what did you call it? The adult beverages?
Daddy sodas. Yeah.
Daddy sodas. I will have a couple daddy sodas. We can talk ball. Meet with us on Saturday at the Trop. Let's do it.
Yeah, we will be at the Trop, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. If anybody has a spare ticket that they want to provide to me, I will sit with you before we meet up somewhere. Maybe, I don't know if we're going to do the Budweiser porch or pick another location. But if anybody has a lone spare ticket and they want to invite me to the game, lockedonrays@gmail.com. If not, I will be purchasing my own ticket through Game Time, like Ulises smartly and astutely did, to get a wonderful, wonderful seat at a wonderful, wonderful cost.
Yes, indeed. It was both of those things. Great location. But you can do that, guys. You can do that by Game Time. So we will see you on Saturday. Yeah, I'm thinking around 5th, 6th inning, we go to the Budweiser porch. We talk some ball with folks. Daddy sodas in hand. And if you are the type of person that wants to stump us, hey, bring a Name That War. We'll play with you.
Bring a trivia question.
Bring a trivia question. We would love to do that live. That would be really cool.
Would be really cool too. And this isn't required by any means, but if you do want to be involved in the meetup hangout sesh, maybe reach out to us. Shoot us an email, lockedonrays@gmail.com, or send us a message on social media or comment on YouTube, wherever it may be, saying, hey, I plan to be there. And maybe we can get the logistics together. I guess we'll have to figure out by Friday where exactly and what inning we're going to meet and in which location. I guess we could put it out on social media as well. But
okay, let's right now, top of the six, Budweiser porch towards the Ray tank, or to the opposite side?
The opposite side.
The opposite side of the Ray tank of the Budweiser porch, so towards left field people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sound good. All right. Good. Yep. We'll remind the folks on Friday of that as well. In the meantime, thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Be sure to check out all the other Locked On podcasts that are out there. Hope you have that ball coming through. Oh God. I'm going to do it with my limited edition David Price.
There it is. Look at that.
Oh God, I can't get the angle right.
I know.
Okay, there we go. Have a good day, everybody. We'll talk to you on Friday.